Hey guys, welcome to That Game Show, the show that talks about all the stuff in the nerd world and all the stuff in between. I am your host, Chase Bunker. Joining me today, he is the half-Asian sensation. It's Curtis Coe.
Hello, everyone.
One name to rule them all, it's Murph Murphy.
How's it going, guys?
And player 4, it's Daniel Clegg.
Hi, friends.
Thank you guys very much for joining me. Thank you guys very much for watching, whether you're watching us on YouTube, listening to us via podcast, or watching us on twitch.tv. Thank you very much for making us a part of your day. Yes, we are live on Twitch. Curtis is watching the comments, so if you have a question, have some stuff to say, feel free to type it, and we might even say it on the show. So, kind of a big thing happened this past weekend. At first, I thought I was special, and thought I got into the Battlefront beta by myself, and I'm like, you know what? This is like, it's like the Old Republic beta. It's like, I got into it before everybody else. It's like, I was going to gloat a little bit, but then I saw it was open, and I was very disappointed with that. But yes, the Star Wars...
the chosen one.
Yeah. The Star Wars Battlefront beta just came out for the weekend, and I believe is now over. We got to experience two multiplayer levels and one single-player level, the single-player survival level. You also had the 40-person Hoth stage and the 16-person drop zone mode as well. So, guys, what did you think of the Battlefront beta so far? We'll start it off with Curtis Coe.
I didn't play it, so skip me.
Really?
He's got nothing. He's got nothing here.
Oh,
The Force is not strong with this one.
The
No.
Force was busy with other people this weekend.
All right, Clegg, go ahead.
There's enough there.
Mixed reviews on my end. I thought that visually and auditorily, that's not a word, sound-wise.
It is now in America.
They really nailed it. Like, it is a pretty game. It is
yeah.
visually stunning. It, like, you know how when you don't watch a movie for a really long time, you have a picture of it in your mind, and then you go back and watch the movie, and you think to yourself, oh, this really didn't hold up the way I remember it. This game is like the HD version of the Star Wars movies you remember. It looks fantastic.
See, I'm going to disagree with you slightly. I don't think it's the best looking game I've ever seen, but it definitely is the most Star Wars looking game that I've ever seen.
That's a good way to put it. Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel like it's a
And
very
sound-wise, they really nailed
pretty
it too.
game.
Like, blasters sound like blasters. The AT-ATs sound like AT-ATs. The comm links, the ambiance is really spot on for this game.
Yeah. I thought, like, one of the first things I noticed that it was a really beautiful game. Like, especially, like, my computer is not the best in comparison to you guys, but I was still able to enjoy visually, like, the whole Star Wars universe, from, like, the rocks on Celeste into, like, the whole Hoth level. It's like, it's basic snow, but for some reason, like, it's so beautiful to me. Like, I love, like like all the models that they have on the menu screens, from all the environments. Like, I loved all of that. Now, gameplay-wise,
absolutely.
What did you guys think of it?
Right. Well, the visuals is what I would put in the good category. Really
Yes.
good. They really nailed that. Gameplay-wise, it's a little COD-y for me. It feels like Call of Duty. You know, your lifespan is usually somewhere in the 10 to 30 second range before someone picks you off. I guess that was typical of the first two Battlefront games as well, but it seems more obvious here.
Yeah.
Really quickly, I'd like to give a shout out to the person in the audience who is Rico622. I'm not even going to try to finish that one, but Rico said it could have been a better game, though, so he seems to be agreeing with the current conversation.
Yeah.
For me, I've played. I have some nostalgia for like the Battlefront and Battlefield and all that kind of game, and I really like that. Okay, I died. All right, 3 seconds later, I'm in. Like, it's, you know, it's kind of that old Quake style.
Unreal Tournament as well.
You don't. Right.
Yeah.
And it's not like a Counter-Strike or, you know, where there's like this really long lead time in between kills or in between deaths, because quite frankly, I'm not good at these type of games, so I die a lot. So the less time I have to spend in the lobby, the better.
Yeah.
I think if you're into that type of gameplay, this absolutely is up that alley.
So, can you mind if I interject as someone who hasn't played, just out of curiosity? You think that the first two games were very third-person shooter-based games? They were, you'd have a not top-down, a behind-the-shoulder. You can get that when you were aiming, but you kind of had you see your full character. Do you think this game is hurt by the fact it's not?
Oh no, you can do that. It's an option.
Oh, you can
in the game. Yeah. I didn't think it was either because all the gameplay footage we've seen so far has been first person to show off the visuals and how pretty things look. But there is an option to go third person.
So, did either of you two ever get to play as Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader?
I played as Darth Vader, and it was like I looked at everybody else, and like everybody's like jumping through. It's like I think I probably got him at like the worst opportune time because of the fact that like I get him, but I'm so far away from everybody. My entire time is literally me trying to jump as fast as I can to get into the battle, only to get mowed down by like 6 turrets. And I wasn't like doing the whole fancy like lightsaber dodging or anything. I did see a Luke Skywalker get crushed by an AT-AT. Not just the video, but like the actual game. I got to see that, so that was kind of funny. But I agree with the sense like it's kind of Call of Duty-ish in that I feel like no matter how many bullets I put into them, or blasters, excuse me, it's never enough for them to die. And I've like...
Really?
I don't know why. I think like... Maybe I didn't enjoy it a lot because I sucked more, but it was just...
Yeah, I'm about to tell you to get good there.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
I suck at this, and I was able to get some kills.
I got some kills eventually, like, towards the end. Like, I didn't enjoy Drop Zone. I wasn't a big fan of that level. I loved the Hoth stage, though, because I feel like...
I feel the same way.
I feel like Hoth offered more, and in terms of, like... With, like, Solust, it's... If you have one good player, that's game. With Hoth, it's you can it's more of a team-based game. What were you going to say, Murph? I interrupted you.
So I actually kind of disagree. I kind of didn't like Hoth as much as I like Drop Zone, and maybe it's just my old like Quake deathmatch genes kicking in.
Yeah.
But like so Drop Zone felt very even because there wasn't like a big difference between the Imperials and the Rebels, right? Like you were just go at each other, go quickly, clash into each other, throw as many grenades, just do it, go.
Right.
But then on Hoth, I played once on the Imperials and one on the rebel side, and like it was very clearly balanced for the like Imperials to win. I mean, I guess maybe that's in keeping with the movie, but like it would always get to the point with the Rebels where we would just get kind of backed up into the base. And then there's a kind of just one door you can come out of, and that's like there's no way to get out of that door because they just park an AT-AT right in front of that door.
Yeah, you're very right.
Because Solist, what was the Drop Zone one? Was that Solist?
Yeah, Solist is the Drop Zone.
Okay, well that one is a very tight-knit map, and it's symmetrical, more or less. You're both trying to do the same thing, just rack up kills and capture these drop pods. Hoth is asymmetrical. One team has AT-ATs, the other team has speeder ships, right? And you have different objectives, and it's much larger. So you're not going to run into someone probably for at least 30 seconds while you travel across the field. So they're two very different gameplay modes.
Right, but like it felt like there was sort of this death spiral going on for the rebels. Like if you just started to lose it all, you would there's no way to recover.
So you're saying it's kind of a landslide type deal where like just a couple mistakes will instantly just
snowball in the other team's favor.
Maybe this was if I had been better. I did get into the A-wing kind of or the snow cruisers toward the end, and I think I messed up the instant kill on one of the AT-ATs, but I got real close, but I didn't quite do it. But even then, there was still another one that was like literally next door, so I'd still have to do like 2 of them perfectly, and that was not happening.
Right.
But even still, like, it got real bad when Vader was like boxing you into your base, and like you couldn't. It was just you and all the other guys in a hallway, and you're like, well, I can't. You like the sun is shining in through the door, so you can't see like it's like just the most perfect kill box. Now, when I was on the Imperial side, getting kills in that hallway was great. Felt good.
Awesome. Just throw things in there and you'll be fine.
Yeah, but then I felt it on the other side, and I was like, "Oh, this is not so awesome."
Yeah.
I think that's in keeping with the story of the movie, though, right? It's the
Yeah.
rebels being backed up and having their back against a wall, literally, and still trying to survive. So it's part of the mythos of the
Right,
storyline.
but I don't want to. I don't want to play the game where I get my S kicked in. I want to play the game where maybe the rebels actually can win Hoth.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he
it
has
was,
a point
I
there.
suppose.
I do agree though. Like with Murph, like I think I played maybe 12 games and 11 of them were won by the Imperials. So like on that level.
Yeah,
Did you
that
guys ever
seems
do
to
to wrap it? One last mode and then we'll wrap it up. Did you guys play the survival one?
I did.
Okay. What did you think of that?
I
did
just
that one.
I just did the multiplayer.
Okay.
I did that one solo, so they only give you, I think, a third of the waves available, which doesn't have all the enemy types, and you don't have all the upgrades available to you. So it's a condensed version of what the final game will offer. But it was good. You survive waves of enemies. You can adjust the difficulty. Little drop pods come down with new equipment for you if you survive waves. I mean, it's pretty typical survival mode, but it was done really well. It was fun.
And I liked like, the little story as well. That little cutscene that we got.
That was one thing I was gonna begin with. That there's a little 10-second, 15-second introduction that's just done really well. It's cinematic. It's got Admiral Akbar doing his thing. It was good. Something you guys mentioned earlier was feeling like no matter what you did, you just couldn't kill your enemy, Chase. I think you said that.
Yeah.
And what I don't like about this game is that everything is behind unlockables based on leveling up your character. And if it was something along the lines of, weapon skins, character skins, which they have that'd be one thing, but you unlock more powerful weapons, different grenade options, all kinds of stuff, which is very COD, right? But
no,
it's
even I remember Battlefront 2 actually having that as well.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly outside canon or outside of that type of gameplay. There was
but I was hoping they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, but
I mean,
what are you gonna do?
Progression.
I kind of like picking up your weapons on the map, but I guess then that's not how the kids like it these days. They like to build their loadouts and all that. And I'm not a fan either, but whatever. It's clearly not made for me.
I mean, in Battlefront 1 and 2, you would select, I want to be a shock trooper, I want to be a jet trooper, I want to be a standard
That's
trooper.
what I was kind of anticipating more
And they
of.
had these standard loadouts built into them, right? I forget if you could make minor tweaks, but you didn't have to unlock a different weapon type. I think you unlocked a class.
I believe that's
right,
correct.
but that didn't take very long. This should have total flexibility, but you got to unlock every type of blaster, every type of grenade, every type of everything.
I'm trying to remember, but I kind of remember there being an alt weapon that you had to unlock as well with a rank. So there was some very minor, but it was never very that game was very. This is how good I am, and it doesn't really matter what your enemy has.
Oh, you're talking about in terms of Battlefront 2?
Yeah, Battlefront 2 was very much this is how good I am. Because a normal trooper could wreck a Jedi if he was playing properly.
Especially when at one point it's like if you do this thing a certain number of times, then you can finally unlock the battle rifle, and then the upgraded weapon. When I played Assault class a lot, so I got the battle rifle a lot, and then once you do it enough times, then you just start with it. So that was their whole thing behind it. I like how they did the power-ups. I like how they did the vehicle upgrades, so it's like everybody can get a chance to be on an ATST, which is a lot of fun. You have a chance to be on an X-Wing or an A-Wing or a TIE Fighter, which I have no idea how to control those. So it was just me just going, what am I doing? Oh, I'm dead. But
even in this one, did you guys get a chance to pilot any of the flying things?
Yeah.
Did anyone else figure that out at all?
No.
It didn't feel good.
When I got close to the power up, I got hit with an orbital bombardment, or I got killed by a Vader, or I got blown up by a grenade. It was like all night. I'm just trying to get in a ship. Give me a ship. It didn't happen.
That's also a very Battlefield type thing. It's hard to fly those things. It's really impressive when you watch people who can do that really well. Whether they're using the same system, I'm not sure. But I remember that being a huge pain in the butt with with Battlefield games.
And I mean, and looking at the like future maps or whatever, it looked like there was like a dogfighting exclusive one. So
Yeah.
if you just wanted to, which I think is good, right? Because sometimes you just want to get out there and fly a ship.
Yeah.
I just want to get an X-wing,
All right.
blow some things up, shoot
So,
some small brats.
final thoughts
want
on
to do
it. What?
another quick shout out to Rico, who said today's youth are so lazy. That's why they'd rather just cheat their way to something than earn it proudly.
Wow! Rico's my favorite person.
I disagree with Rico there.
Oh, Rico's
no,
my
boo.
Oh man!
Boo,
No, 'cause I don't
you
know how
what?
many times on Hawk
I'm
I saw.
firmly on the you millennials side.
I like
okay,
how
whatever you say.
because it was like
Old
this
man
fair
Murph.
fight just kept
Yes,
kicking out
is
all
on the
these
millennial
people.
side.
And it's
Old
like,
man Murph.
oh man, old man Murph is showing. Okay, so
What?
final thoughts.
I'm on the millennial side.
Okay.
And also, yes, do bring back that motorcycle.
Yeah. So,
I agree with that.
did it meet expectations? Were you a lot more like? Are you anticipating it more, or did it kind of disappoint you, Clegg?
After the first 2 sessions, I would say I'm not going to buy this day one. I'm not going to buy this if a bunch of my friends aren't also playing it. It seems like a really solid Star Wars game, but I don't think it's for me. Just, I don't know. I have nostalgia for the first 2, and this one doesn't feel the same, I guess.
Don't forget
So,
that $50
slightly
season
disappointed,
pass.
I suppose.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Murph.
Mm.
So I'm not a big multiplayer guy. It's not something I look for because I'm an old man and I can't keep up with you kids. But
There it is.
you can if you have a solid single player, which
It doesn't.
wave mode is not a solid single player. I could be convinced. I mean,
that's just the beginning.
I hate to
as well.
say it, like, but I mean, the dopamine squirts are like because I noticed this. I was like,
The
ooh.
dopamine score.
Dopamine
Whenever you level up,
squirts.
there's this really pretty status bar, and it's like you got this many points for doing this, and because you were so good, you got this many points, and because you won, you got this many points, and you're just like, ooh, how many upgrades and unlocks can I get? What? Ooh, okay, this feels good. This feels good.
I wouldn't know what that's like. I
so-
suck horribly. I think at one point I was like
But-
3-27 on Hoth.
Ooh.
I
Okay,
know.
yeah, come on, get good.
I know.
Ooh.
And it's like shooters are my thing too. Like
Sounds
I
like
can
it may
dominate in
just
Team
not be
Fortress.
our type
This
of
game,
game.
I couldn't do it. I mean,
I'm
practice.
not saying I always had a positive kill death, but I at least broke 10 multiple times.
I didn't do that.
But it's just been one of those games.
Actually, I
right?
broke it.
Park
It seems like the
AT-AT.
game may just not be our type of game. Still a good game, maybe just not for us.
Not
right?
yet.
Yeah, like if you're
I'll
a
get
guy
that.
who likes shooters and you like Star Wars, yeah, go get it.
Yeah.
But for me, not so much.
I think
Add a
visually,
single player mode that's kind of like Republic Commando, then I might. Then
visually,
I mean-
it satisfied my needs, and then gameplay wise, I like what I saw, but I can't wait to see what else is going to be out there. That's all I can really say about it. So, all right. Moving on to New York Comic Con. That happened over the past weekend with a lot of things that came out, including Jessica Jones. What? Don't give me that. Jessica Jones.
It's funny.
Daredevil 2. Thank you. There's some more talk about Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, all that stuff. So, guys, I'll ask you, what was your big thing coming out of New York Comic Con? Curtis, do you actually have a point on this one?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
Curtis, you go first
I
this
think it's
time.
actually, yeah, no. Marvel announced 4 new movies for Phase 3. 4 new movies. 3 are untitled at this moment. One of them is Ant-Man and Wasp, which I'm super excited to see a sequel to. But that brings that up to 14 movies in Phase 3.
Okay.
Have we already had some of those?
No, we have had no. The first one is Captain America 3: Civil War.
Oh, okay. All right, gotcha.
That's a little scary
Which I
to
was
me.
kind of surprised
There's
there was
a
no
lot of
leaked
movies.
trailer for that.
I mean, what has been the worst Marvel movie so far? Like,
Thor 1, maybe.
yeah, like I'll see a Thor
It was
one
still
any
good.
day.
I'll still
It
see
was a
it
good
Thor
movie.
1.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I was going to say Iron Man 3, maybe.
Okay, yeah, Iron Man 3 is a little worse, but like it's
I
not
disagree completely. I think
terrible.
Iron Man 2 is way
Or
worse.
yeah,
Oh, wait, sorry.
Or 2. Yeah.
two is worse than but okay, so Iron Man 2 is like very bottom of the barrel, but it's watchable, right?
Yeah.
So
I would say it's watchable.
Like
I mean,
like, the worst
I don't
Marvel
know.
movie is still a good movie.
And then there's some floating around rumors that Inhumans got canceled, but it's been disproven, I guess. But there's still a lot of talk about it floating around. So that was interesting as well.
What about a couple of movies being shoved aside to insert a new Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, so Captain Marvel got shoved aside, which is a little disheartening because
Only by a few months, though, right? It's just
no,
pushed
by
back,
almost
like,
a
half
year.
Half a
I
year or
think
something.
a year. I think they're pushing
really?
it back an entire year, which is unfortunate because they need to get that female superhero out there, especially Captain Marvel. She's awesome. Just
Well, if they don't even have an actress yet for that character,
Yeah.
and they do have the Spider-Man actor, which we know about, kind of
God,
makes sense.
I
I'm so
mean,
tired of
hooray, Spider-Man.
I'm getting tired of Spider-Man. I'm gonna be honest.
Sure, but from a business perspective, that character sells more everything
Yeah,
than
I
anything.
guess so.
So,
Oh yeah,
Right.
the new X-Men movie also got announced. My mistake.
All right.
Well, no, that was already announced. Apocalypse, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Apocalypse.
that's been announced.
Yeah.
Been known quantity for a while.
Mhm.
And
All right.
Yeah, that's all
Clown-
pretty exciting.
Plague is a
Yeah.
big thing for you.
What do you guys think of? What do you guys think the new movie might be? Oh, for me, I was really excited about the teaser for Daredevil season 2. After watching it, which was about a minute and a half of recap from season 1 and about 20 seconds of flashing images from season 2, that did nothing for me. So that's super disappointing. I'm really into the hype surrounding Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
I know nothing about that character,
Oh,
but
Oh
reading
yeah.
about it, where she's basically a retired superhero turned detective, that's a
Mhm.
unique concept. I haven't seen a detective sort of flair to a Marvel movie.
so she's less of a detective and more of kind of a journalist. And I have read the comics, so I don't know what they're changing
I
exactly.
think she's a PI, isn't she? More.
Yeah, detective PI.
Yeah,
it's
something like
it's
that.
kind of a weird.
Yeah.
What journal? What is it? I mean, but also I'm excited because David Tennant, one of the better Doctor Who's,
Right,
Yes.
Purple
is
Man.
the villain.
Yeah,
Not one of the
People
better,
are saying
the
he
best.
is
the villain.
people are saying he's terrifying, like absolutely terrifying.
Oh yeah,
Well,
Well, I mean,
he was
he's a
scary
good actor,
even
so
when
he
when
is.
he was mad, the Doctor, he was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
The
terrifying.
Doctor got
He's
mad.
the guy
he
that
was
I wouldn't wanna
scary,
mess
So
with.
I can see that.
Murph,
So that's exciting. I really like him. I need to finish his run on Doctor Who, so I don't taint his Who with this villainous character he's going to be playing.
So
that
so
last
me, I'm
episode.
gonna take us away from Marvel. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay.
It's okay.
I'm gonna take us towards some little, still in the '90s. Some little X-Files. Wait, is that the X-Files symbol?
Yeah, you still made an
Uh-huh.
X. You still made an X with your
Yep.
fingers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good. You're good. We
So,
got it.
A good option.
so I'm reading reviews of the first episode, and I didn't read the spoiler reviews because I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's good. I think to quote Kotaku, it feels like home, which
Mhm.
is kind of what you want. And apparently, it's a 6-episode season.
I believe
Episodes 1 and 6 are going to be kind of like connected season, like furthering the X-Files plot.
Mhm.
And then we're in like 4 or 5, 4 Monster of the Week episodes. Which, let's all be honest, best X-Files episodes are Monster of the Week.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's
not
true.
the overarching story development pieces. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Now I wonder,
I
is
really
it going
like
to take
this tendency
place?
we're seeing towards full season releases? Like, are we getting all 6 episodes at once of this thing?
No.
I think it's I
It's
forget who's
on
putting it out.
Fox, I think. I think it's
Oh,
on
see, I
Fox.
thought this was one of those full releases like we're getting with
Yeah.
Jessica Jones and Daredevil.
Mm-mm.
Just get a
No,
whole
so
10
It's
episode
on Fox. It's going to go. The episodes will release in like 3, 5, 6,
Oh,
1,
wow.
and then they'll just cancel it before showing the last one.
Thing. Oh, great. Yeah.
Here
I
we
wonder if it's
go,
gonna-
Firefly.
If it's going to take
No,
place
that's just Fox.
after the I Want to Believe movie. Did anybody actually watch
Yes.
that?
It's-
Okay. Is it good?
No.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I did.
Oh, you sound
You
sad for the experience.
Man,
Not a good movie, guys.
Mhm.
What
Just
Exhibit?
cross
You
that
didn't
one off the
want?
list. It's
You didn't
fine.
like Exhibit or something in there?
Wait, this is the one. No, like this is the one with the psychic and the three-headed dog, and
I don't know.
Jeez.
yeah, it's bad. Like, and it's just.
All right.
How about you, Chase?
Um,
What did you see that you liked?
I was more excited about Jessica Jones, and like IGN had their article of it's the most mature Marvel Cinematic Universe thing that they had. And I was like, perfect. Because I don't know if I have like I just
wonder
found out
what
there's
that
a term for liking things that are like dark and stuff. It's like it's a grim fascination. So I guess I have that. But I like that it's a little bit more mature than all the other stuff out there. So I'm excited. Because I
I
know
mean-
nothing about it.
That's good. I think that's really good for you guys going into it. You're
Yeah.
going to enjoy it a lot more.
Use the terms mature and adult to describe it. So I'm wondering if that
Yeah.
just implies, maybe some sexual content, or if we're going to be seeing like Constantine.
Oh,
Remember that show had some dark moments in it, like demonic
So
possession and mutilation and stuff. Like that was some dark stuff. I wonder if we're going to see something along those lines.
I think you're gonna go more real world dark.
Right. I don't mean like thematically, just like visually. You saw some real violence happen in that movie, or in that show.
Also,
It
we
is
found
not
out,
in.
we also found out that
It's not for kids.
the killing.
Yeah.
Speaking of not for kids, the Killing Joke Batman movie is going to be getting a hard R as well when that comes
boy.
out. That's going to be.
Should be interesting.
Wait, sorry, I haven't heard this at all. There's a
Yes.
Batman movie, like the next official Batfleck Batman movie is The Killing Joke.
I don't know how to
Or
describe it. It's like. It's pretty much.
We
I
should
think
have
it's gonna be
tried to talk about it as little as possible.
Yeah. And I think we'll tell
It's,
you
it's
later.
one of those. Yeah, I got to throw it over to also DC TV. They had a really strong showing this time as well. Lots of positive buzz off Supergirl and lots of good comments about Legends of Tomorrow as well.
Supergirl looks cool. Like I
So-
will say that. Like I saw the commercial.
It
Like,
looks-
this looks good.
Yeah, like the initial promo they put out was a lot of people said was absolutely awful.
Did not look good.
Did
at
not
all,
look
so
very
it
good. We
really
commented
surprises me.
on the show about how bad it looked,
Yeah.
but apparently that was like just really bad marketing on their part, and there's a lot of positive buzz about that show, and I think it's hopefully well deserved. We'll see what happens. I really like that universe. I really want them to continue to make more people and bring them into that universe.
Yeah.
So I think this was also announced at Comic-Con is that The Walking Dead is getting a iOS game, but it's supposed to be in the XCOM style. And I think it's out today. I haven't tried it out yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's on
Interesting.
tablet only or not.
I
think
like
it's-
XCOM.
Yeah, and I also enjoyed XCOM, and
Who doesn't like zombies? You put these two
Yeah.
things together, I could see how this could work.
Yeah.
And I mean, Walking Dead does not have the best reputation. Well, has a shall we say incredibly mixed reputation.
Yes, I think that's fair.
in terms of games.
Yeah.
Because we have the Telltale Walking Dead, which is
Those are good.
fantastic,
Fantastic.
Mhm.
and then you have the other ones, which are garbage.
Yeah.
Uh,
Speaking of Telltale, they're having their episode 5 of Tales from the Borderlands comes out the 20th, so I am excited.
And apparently the Minecraft one as well came out and was
Yeah.
pretty good too.
And everyone likes that one too, which
Yeah.
is surprising to me.
That
one
Right,
was
story mode for Minecraft? Weird.
One more shout out really quick for Comic Con. I want to say Ash of the Evil Dead got a really good raving reviews.
Oh, right. That's
Uh,
what I should have said instead of Jessica Jones.
That one
That
You
had
could look you
raving
could look so
reviews
much
and everyone-
diverse.
Like that one is one I really want to see. I'm a huge fan of that universe and I want to watch it so bad, but it's not on a channel I have. So I will have to find
Are those movies streaming anywhere?
which
I
Evil
think
Dead.
Evil Dead
The
1
Evil
and
Dead movies.
Evil Dead 2, I believe, are on Netflix.
Yes,
I'm
I
gonna
believe
look
Evil
that
Dead
up.
2
You
is on
keep going.
Netflix.
I
Because I remember
Evil
I
Dead
watched
2 is
it
on Netflix.
I watched
one
the
is
first 2 on Netflix. Whether or not
Yeah,
they're still there. is
I
beyond
have Army of Darkness if you want to borrow it.
Yeah,
So-
they're very different. Well, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 are very similar films, and then Army of Darkness is as different as the two are the same. It's very weird.
But I kind of see a lot of transfer over from Evil Dead 2, though, into Army of Darkness.
Right.
Like, it has that very, like, it's a tonally shift upwards, I guess, more towards comedy and less towards horror.
Mhm.
But, I don't know.
Apparently,
Did you-
the third movie is not being included into the series at all because of copyright reasons. Since all three of those movies were handled by different companies, they didn't get the rights to
Really?
anything from the third movie for this
Interesting.
series. Which is weird.
Did you guys watch the recent remake of Evil Dead?
Yes.
I did not.
It was good.
It was.
It was. Was it funny or was it?
No,
like,
it was
Oh,
not
no.
funny.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Oh no, it wasn't.
It was a
funny.
good kind of. It was a slashery kind of horror-y kind of thing.
That's not my game at all.
It's
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's as a horror movie, it's good. It's gruesome. Like there's like scenes where you're just like, ugh, but it's. I think the only downfall of that movie is there's one scene where it's raining blood and they did not play Slayer, and I feel like that would have been the perfect time to play Raining Blood by Slayer with the dun dun dun. Dun, dun, dun. It's like that would have been the perfect time, but no, for some reason they just couldn't do that. But overall, like as a horror movie, it's good. So,
Yeah.
another thing that happened.
Oh, and so The Walking Dead.
nope,
I was going to say The Walking Dead No Man's Land is available on iOS, and you can get it on your phone. So,
Excellent. Looks cool.
yeah.
Yep,
I do not have an iPhone, so that's completely useless to me.
Some quick hits of some stuff that's going on in the news. This was actually a trending topic on Twitter. It is the War Song Commander is actually getting nerfed. Apparently, in the next Hearthstone patch.
oh, in
In
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone, that is so ridiculous and looked for. Thank you so much.
Oh, I think it's because of the Grim Patron. Like, I think that's
It's 'cause of
honestly
Right.
one reason.
Gotcha.
What was that?
Hey,
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, I have a Grim
absolutely.
Patron deck. I'm guilty of playing that deck.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
me too. Yep.
I think like all things in all competitive whatever, people try and place blame why they aren't rank 1 when they're not as good as they actually talk. I'm just
sure.
saying.
Yeah,
It's not a guaranteed win, guys.
I watched the
No,
games
no. It is
a
that
good
you
card.
did, that you showed me,
I
Clay.
don't think. Oh yeah, okay.
And like a lot of those, I'm like, wow, these are all just like brilliant ideas. And these guys are just like, it's like a card game. Like I immediately know, like these guys are just a lot better than I am. All their cards are golden. They just
play it.
they just
lot
find
more.
counters for everything. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say that the patron deck, Liz had said, didn't have a higher win rate than any other normally used deck necessarily. The problem with it, and what they didn't like, was that you could take someone from full health to nothing, or sometimes even more than that, from like 50 health to nothing in one turn if you comboed correctly with that particular deck. That should not be allowed because the game is about fighting for control of the board, right?
Yeah.
And it basically took the gameplay out of your opponent's hand completely and just said, if I get the correct 7 cards in my hand, I just win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're going to find that there's going to be more and more of those kind of combos popping up as they add more and more cards. Like, I've seen it with Magic. It's like, unless you start taking cards out, which they seem reluctant to do,
Right.
it's just going to happen. But, whatever. It's their game, and
Yeah.
whatever makes it more fun.
Yeah. And one last thing. Famed North American League of Legends player Dyrus has now retired from the LCS. First off, it's weird that someone at the age of he's 20 or 21 or something retiring, saying I'm too old for this sport. It's a little bit disheartening, but of all the North American players,
What
of
are you
any,
saying, Chase? Just because we're like way older than that? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, it's like if I was 20, I'm 27. If I tried to get into like the LCS, like I would be almost like the Brett Favre of LCS.
He's a football player.
Yes. Great. I'm actually kind of surprised you know that, Murph. Great job. One last thing. We'll briefly talk. We won't do all of them. Gamesradar is holding its annual Golden Joystick Awards. If you vote and you submit an email address, you can also get BioShock Infinite for $1 courtesy of them. So I did that because I love BioShock Infinite and I like having my head hurt and it's cheap. So it's really hard to pass up that deal. Here are some of the nominees. We won't talk about all of them just yet. We'll probably expand it to a couple episodes. But definitely check it out, especially that deal for Bioshock Infinite if you haven't played it. It's such a good game. It's probably, like, if it wasn't for Last of Us, it probably would have been Game of the Year or Grand Theft Auto 5, in my opinion. But let's start off with, right now, Best Audio. They've got Elite Dangerous, Ori and the Blind Forest, Discount Tire. Oh, wait, that's an ad. Hotline Miami 2, Wrong Number. Batman.
I was going to say, that sounds like something I would play.
Yeah.
Some crazy indie game.
Batman Arkham Knight, Battlefield Hardline, Bloodborne, Dragon Age Inquisition, Titan Souls, Dying Light, Life is Strange, and Alien Isolation.
Wait, Titan Souls. Is this some kind of Dark Souls
I
knockoff?
don't know. Like,
What is that?
there's a lot of
It's a
games like I
2D
didn't know
Dark
about.
Souls.
Titan Souls is it's kind of an indie game.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
also, Murph, I agree with you completely.
And we're having some fun in the chat.
Oh gosh.
Join us on Tuesdays at 6:30 to chat in on our Twitch stream.
And we will tell you that my sister, what is it? My sister's adorable or something like that. What is the English version of that?
I just Wikipedia'd and
I did. My little sister can't be this cute.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that one.
I don't think we are either.
Is that Rico or is that
Says
somebody
this.
else? Because right now I have
That is
respect for
not-
Rico.
Nope.
No, it's not
Not-
Rico.
Okay,
not
good.
Rico.
Good.
It's by my mixtape. It's fire.
Oh, okay. That makes
So
sense.
hello.
It's
I
a,
don't
it's
know
a
if you're
good,
still there,
He spits
good
on fire.
username,
but I don't know if we can really talk about that one without getting a little creeped out.
All right, cool.
anyway.
What would you nominate or what would you vote for best audio?
Oh God.
Yeah, like not
I
all at
haven't played
once.
most of those games.
Yeah.
So
I voted
one
for
I
Ori.
played a
I think
little bit
Ori
of
and the
was
Blind Forest.
Inquisition.
Yeah. By the way, I want to also say
So
this
are-
before you vote. They do spoil some games, and I got spoiled a game, and I'm kind of pissed off about it. So be ready.
when
for
they're
that
saying audio,
gaming
do they mean like Foley or do they mean like music?
It's
That's a good question.
audio. I'll read to you what they said if I can unlock my phone correctly.
I think it would be.
Don't spoil a game for me.
Yeah. From catchy pub
Because
songs to
I'm trying to
blood-curdling
think-
enemy howls, these are the games whose sounds are just as memorable as their sights. Listen to the
Okay,
nominees
so-
in full
so it's-
surround
it's
sound.
package.
Yeah.
Right, because
everything.
like Bloodborne has like one song in it.
That is true. Scientifically proven.
So I guess audio. I don't. Man, nothing this year like really was like really great, and maybe this is why I'm kind of like, oh, these are your picks for audio.
I actually think Life is Strange has a really good soundtrack. If you haven't heard that soundtrack,
I have. That's
I
one of
have
those
not.
games I've been meaning to pick up, but haven't had the time.
I think that one has a really. I've just started playing it recently, and I think it has a stellar soundtrack in it.
Okay.
But at the same time, I know I've heard the Ori and the Blind Forest stuff, and I think it is also pretty fantastic.
I love
You know
Ori.
what? You know what I got? Dropsy, that point and click hug venture
Yeah.
with the crazy looking clown.
Yeah.
There's the way that they do audio is really neat because it's kind of the same. It's the same tune, but it like it varies and slows up based on where you go. And I actually like I don't usually notice audio in games all that much, but this one it kind of was like, huh, that's really cool.
All right, so you prefer that one over the nominees then?
I do.
Be
So
a rebel.
I'm
There you
write-in
go.
candidate. You know what? I'm voting Bernie Sanders.
All right. Wow, we just went there. How could you not vote for Trump? He's a likable character. Okay, we're not going to start into politics. I just wanted to pull that. I just want to troll for a little bit. All right. Best original game. In a world where sequels are so often king, these are the innovative, often genre-defining games that shatter a stereotype. The nominees are Bloodborne, Kerbal Space Program, Life is
Definitely
Strange,
not a sequel.
This War of Mine, or In the Blind Forest, Splatoon, Invisible Ink, Sunset Overdrive, Talos Principle, Her Story.
So wait, what is this
Best
category
original
again?
game.
Oh, I thought you said best sequel, and I was
No.
like, what?
Yeah, no.
Shatter your
Bloodborne,
expectations,
Bloodborne, I don't
basically.
think is an original game at all.
No, like it's a fantastic. It's going to be in my game of the year list, but I don't think it's particularly innovative.
It's a fine-tuned Dark Souls.
Life is Strange is extremely innovative because you get to rewind time.
Right.
So, like, in terms of Walking Dead, you could basically make a choice and, and then rewind the choice, essentially.
So I noticed that Her Story was on that list.
Which is also a very interesting game.
It's definitely not. It's unlike anything I've played before.
But
So-
I didn't actually like that game. That's my only
Really?
problem. I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was fantastic.
See, I played it with my wife, and we kind of got on the couch and we like put it up on the TV, and we both like played it together and like discussed it as we played, which I feel like is the optimal way to do it.
I agree, and like, but it just didn't really. I don't know. There was something about it that didn't really tickle my fancy about it, I guess. Like, I thought Ori and the Blind Forest, from what I've seen and what you guys have talked about, is also a very good option in this one.
I mean, but it's just a straight Metroidvania. Like, there's a genre name for it.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
it
We're talking
is,
about
but at the
defying
same time,
expectations.
like,
maybe that one's not it.
I don't know. I feel like Ori, it's a little bit better. It's kind of like Metroidvania, but at the same time, I feel like the way it's executed, it's differently than Metroidvania.
I think we're also maybe their definition of original is different than our definition of original as well. They're talking about not necessarily new concept, but a game that is new that is not a sequel. It is stands on its own essentially.
Right, and also the fact that the highest rated Metacritic game of all time, Undertale, is not on this list, which is apparently kind of like the heir apparent to Earthbound.
That's right. I heard about that.
I'm looking forward to playing that. I haven't. That's another one that's on the list.
Interesting. I thought Splatoon sort of took the shooter genre and turned it sideways a little bit. Makes it much more accessible, very different visually, obviously, than your typical shooters, and really changes what the requirements are for being a shooter. You don't necessarily have to be really good at shooting
and
other people.
it's a good shooter on a Nintendo platformer.
And people
or platform. What?
Incredibly competitive with that game. They are insanely competitive.
Yeah.
Splatoon.
But I like the concept of it, where it's not about how many kills you get or how many kills your team gets. It's about covering the field, right?
Oh.
So it's not even objective based. It's somewhat exploratory. It's somewhat movement required. It's just different from another shooter. I can't mention another shooter that has that sort of gameplay to it.
I don't think there is. I mean, the last one we could say that was a shooter but wasn't really a shooter might have been like something like Portal.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison, I suppose.
If you're just tuning in, we are That Game Show, talking about the Golden Joystick Awards and the nominees. We're going through them right now. Curtis, do you have any other nomination, or do you have a vote for Best Original, or do you like to say F the police and I vote for this instead?
No, I think original game. I'm actually going to agree with Clegg on this one. I think Splatoon really did do some very interesting things, and I have to give them the nod because it's Nintendo doing what they do, and they do it so well.
Yeah.
I did like Her Story, and I thought it was very original, but I didn't necessarily love the game to death. And though I like Life is Strange, I don't think it's necessarily super original either.
Yeah. All right.
So,
all right. Now we
Fair
move
enough.
on to Best Storytelling. The nominees are Pillars of Eternity, Sunless Sea, Life is Strange, Her Story,
okay.
Far Cry 4, Game of Thrones, Dragon Age Inquisition, Talos Principle, Bloodborne, Witcher 3, Batman Arkham Knight.
The only one on that list that I've played is Witcher 3, and all I can say is that the story in that game is what draws me back to it every time. And that's not a knock on any other aspect of that game. Visually, gameplay-wise, it's all really, really, really good, but the story is what makes me go back to it.
Hold on, I'm going to call a flag on the play here. Dragon Age Inquisition came out last year.
It came out like
2013.
November It came out towards like the
2000
tail
They're
end.
considering it part of the fiscal year, maybe.
Yeah, they're probably
doing
considering part of the
Q
fiscal year just
or
because
or whatever.
Okay.
Weird money thing
I
they
agree
do.
with Murph though. I throw that one out just on principle.
Okay,
as
so
well,
on
of it not
principle,
being this-
we're gonna throw out Dragon Age Inquisition.
I kind of feel like Talos Principle was also last year.
It was.
So
All right, so
I say
throw
that
that
one
out as
goes
well.
to-
Yeah. Come to think of it, no, I'm just kidding. No,
I mean, come to
none
think
these
of it,
are really
Game of Thrones
great.
Episode
Like,
1 came out last year.
I have to disagree with you. I think Witcher 3 has a pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I would be inclined, having not played a lot. Life is Strange, which is
I know
on
it has a
there.
good story. Can you read it one more time for us, Chase?
All
Not
right.
including Talos
Yeah.
and
Pillars of Eternity,
Inquisition.
Sunless Sea,
Okay.
Life is
I can
Strange,
speak on that one.
Her Story, Far Cry 4, Game of Thrones, not Dragon Age, not Talos, Bloodborne, Witcher 3, Batman Arkham Knight.
Now, how do you feel about Bloodborne being? I'm interested to see how you feel about Bloodborne being on this list.
Before you answer that, can you answer, is the story as hidden as it is in the Dark Souls games?
It is less hidden,
Okay.
but that is not saying much.
That's true. Okay, so it's not an accessible story, for starters.
Right, but I think it's still a game that very like you could play it the entire time and not know what's going on. Like, and it's more accessible in that there are cutscenes. Most of those cutscenes are confusing.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, would you consider that to be a better story than something like some of these other games that are on this list? I guess is my question to you.
Like overall, like I think you have to kind of take accessibility and like into account. So
Yeah.
like if 80% of your players aren't going to have any idea what just happened, you know, so
Not a good storytelling mechanism, and if that's how we're gauging the quality of the game in this particular scenario, then
And
so I would not like I love the story dearly.
Yeah.
It's not going to win this award.
And
Right.
I just very much love the story of Pillars of Eternity, but I think for the same reason as you're talking about, it is very dense and is very reading heavy, which is why I can't really give the complete nod to that one either. Especially in modern storytelling, like it is a book. I mean, each character has their own voice and it's very unique. However, it is a book.
but books win awards for storytelling all the time, right?
True, but in interactive media where you have literally this much text that shows up on your screen, sometimes that can really, I mean, it depends on how much you're really into that kind of thing. If you're into old school RPGs, I think the story's fantastic. You have to get through the first act for it to get really interesting because a lot of setup, but
So this one being part novel doesn't appeal to you. 'Cause you
it's
don't
not
like
that
it.
I can just see how it wouldn't appeal to a lot of people. It would be difficult to get past the first act of the game because it is so much world building in the first act.
Yeah, man.
I'd say
Yeah,
the only game I'd vote for is Witcher 3, just because of the fact that I've heard so many like great things about the story.
The story is
I'd
really
also
good.
throw a nod out to Game of Thrones as well, which I'm surprised like they chose Game of Thrones and not Tales from the Borderlands as well, because they both came out around the same time. But I guess you have to choose one. All right, best visual design. You have Dragon Age Inquisition, which I'm assuming you guys are gonna throw out.
No, it's not very like it's very generic fantasy. Anyway,
Vanishing of
Well
Ethan
done,
Carter.
but not. We're going for a unique then.
didn't play it. Heard it was beautiful though.
Oh, it was. Ori and the Blind
I've seen
Forest,
the video of it, which is very gorgeous.
looks-
as
looks
well.
cool.
Pretty game.
Bloodborne, Order
That was pretty
1886,
Gorgeous. That one was pretty. That one
pretty
was pretty
game.
pretty.
Sunset Overdrive,
Crappy game apparently. But
I like.
Uh,
That one though has a very cartoony look to it though.
Yeah.
Very-
Right, I mean it's about
Stylized.
style, right?
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Unity,
No.
it's
No.
kind of like all the other Assassins. So for going on
Splatoon.
uniqueness, I'd say no. Yeah, that one's unique.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham Knight.
That one's
it looks
pretty.
It's like all the other Arkham games, which
Yeah,
means it looks awesome.
Just a prettier Arkham game. And
yeah, the styling is okay. This is Batman.
Witcher 3.
I would
Yet-
put that in the same category as Inquisition, where it's really well done fantasy, but it's still
it's still
Right.
fantasy.
typical
Oh.
fantasy, which is to say typical
I-
fantasy is bad. We're just going on uniqueness in it.
But I will say, I noticed instantly on booting that game, like there were very little details that were really well done. Like the flapping of your shirt as you walked around. Like that's like super, super minor details, but those
Cost
details
effects
are
are good.
really impressive.
We also have Alien
Yeah, like some of
Isolation
some
and
of
Metal
the
Gear
effects-
Solid 5.
Alien Isolation
I haven't
was
played those
pretty,
last two.
but last year as well, I think.
Yeah.
Alien Isolation, I feel like that was last year.
I
That
think it
was.
was. I think it was
Uh,
actually October of last year.
What the heck? What the heck?
yeah, I don't. This is a weird. These are weird. Whatever. Oh, if we could, I'm going to rewind for just half a second because I remember what my pick for storytelling would be, and that would be Until Dawn. But
That's a good one.
That's a good pick.
I guess I got to give this to Ori because that's the only one on that list that actually kind of looks unique.
Yeah.
Can you really say Splatoon doesn't look unique though? I mean, you could
It looks-
probably
It kinda
Especially
looks like
when
Mario,
you become a
I hate to
kid,
say
then
it.
a squid, then a kid, then a squid.
squid
like,
than a kid.
yeah.
I mean, it does have a very unique look to it though.
I mean, those squids are very clearly Mario squids.
And likewise, I have to give the same nod to Bloodborne. I think Bloodborne is also very unique looking. I don't think there's anything quite.
I
that
really dig
looks,
that gothic.
Dark
look.
Souls looks. It looks a lot like Dark Souls.
Oh,
That
it's
is
true,
true.
but it has a little more gothic.
It's way more
Dark.
gothic and
Yeah.
dark.
It's like,
than the Dark Souls,
yeah,
which
it's
is
a lot of
Right.
like Lovecraftian like creatures, and
Yeah.
my two was
Suppose.
either Ethan Carter or Ori, just because like they're two different art styles. Like you have like the realism in Vanishing of Ethan Carter, or you have the like colorful art style of Ori. and
uber
so-
stylized.
Yeah, and so like,
You know,
I kind
I
of
gotta
just
give
chose
them-
that.
I got to give the nod to Order 1886. It may not have been the best game ever, but it's pretty as heck, and I like the style
Yeah.
of it. So
Okay. Yeah. Well,
That's probably more of the steampunky,
yeah, I'm
Uh,
very, very into Steam
techie
stuff.
era that you like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right. Moving on to best multiplayer, and for some reason my page is gonna be taking
Yeah.
forever.
yeah. Do we even play multiplayer?
barely.
Is
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm on
Heroes
this list?
of the Storm
Because
on
if
this-
not,
Actually,
Yeah.
I think it
we're all
is.
gonna
But let me
vote
double
for.
check because for some. Oh, okay. So you have to talk amongst yourselves because it decided to just go back to the main page. So it's like, oh,
yeah. Like
lovely.
the only multiplayer stuff I've played is Hearthstone or some. I played a little Hearthstone and some Heroes of the Storm, and that's about it.
I've been doing a lot of The Witcher, which has no multiplayer aspect to it.
Yeah.
But what about
It's been a
Gwen?
lot of
Gwen
Heroes.
multiplayer? Gwent can be multiplayer, can it?
I don't know, but I don't touch that because I have Hearthstone. I don't
Ah.
need another card game
You
to
don't
suck
want
my
to. You
life
don't want
away.
to cheat on your.
Yeah, exactly, right? I have enough trouble finishing games as it is. I don't need a game inside of my game to stop me from finishing my game. That's just...
That made
I
my
don't
head
need it.
hurt listening to that. All right. So
Yeah.
Killing Floor 2, I would put that in our top multiplayer games ever, but
That's true.
here we
I really-
go.
Killing
Killing
Floor
Floor 2.
1, I think, is still a better game than Killing Floor 2.
For
at
right
the
now.
moment.
uh,
All
I
right.
don't know. It's got more characters, it's got more maps. The Killing Floor 2
Here we
looks
go.
awesome and
It
plays
does.
Yeah, let's
better
hear
than
it.
Killing Floor 1.
Best multiplayer game: Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, GTA Online,
Didn't play.
Destiny House of
Didn't
Wolves,
play.
Splatoon,
Oh fuck.
Mortal Kombat
Destiny.
X. I've got to do some censoring later when I have to edit. Kalimba. I don't know what that is. Bloodborne. Bloodborne has multiplayer.
Technically, it's Dark Souls
Oh,
style
okay.
multiplayer.
Dark Souls is-
Call of Duty Advanced
invading.
Warfare. PES 2016. It's a soccer game. FIFA 2016. And Heroes of the Storm. So do
Okay,
you really
so
need to
there you go.
deliberate on
That
that?
one.
Or
I
Nope.
mean, I really like Monster Hunter 4. I still play it, and a lot of people on that game are surprisingly nice, which is a little bit weird
That's
for a
because the
multiplayer game.
multiplayer is all cooperative.
Well, I know. Like, I met this guy, and he's like, "Here, have all this crap," and just dropped it, and then left the game, and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Awesome,
You
thanks."
played that on your 3DS? Did you get that
Yeah.
version?
Yeah, it's good.
I wish
Plays really
Payday
well.
Crime Wave
I
Edition
enjoy it.
was on there, but no.
I played 2 of those games. I just couldn't get into them. They're really grindy. You know?
They are, and I enjoy that when I'm just kind of I need something to just take my mind off everything else, and it's real brainless kind of
If
deal.
you want to hunt monsters and grind, this is a really good game to do that because the gameplay is fun. I just didn't enjoy the grind. That's all.
I would say also if you have friends who also have it,
Yep, that's important too.
because my wife and I play it occasionally together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fun.
All right.
Yeah, but I think Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
It's where we're all.
Yeah,
I'm going
I
with
agree.
Heroes.
It's
But
there.
I had to give the nod.
All right, this is the Murph category. Best indie game.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Great.
Okay.
Axiom Verge, Affordable Space Adventures, Volume, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, Kerbal Space Program, Crypt of the Necrodancer,
I can vote for that one.
Her
Ooh,
Story,
we did that
I
one
played
too.
that one.
Invisible Ink, Chaos Reborn, Ollie Ollie 2. Murph?
Okay, I've actually played some of these games.
Yeah, these are more mainstream indie stuff, and they're all good. I don't think I've not heard of Affordable Space. What is it? Affordable Space Travel?
Space Adventures.
Which is,
It's a Wii U
looks
game.
like it looks like yeah.
oh, okay, well, all right. So that's going to remain unplayed. I'm going to have to give if I had to pick from this list, I think I'm going to have to say Her Story, but the one it's been in development for quite a while, still is in early access, so I think it still counts. Nuclear Throne.
Nuclear Throne?
Okay.
Nuclear Throne. It's a really good game.
All right, Murph, saying F the police. Clegg, who do you got for best indie game?
I'm agree with Murph. F the police. I'm going to go with Darkest Dungeon.
All
I
right.
really like that
That's
game.
another good one.
That is a really good,
That is another good one.
insanity-based dungeony RPG. It's really good, gothic style. Your characters go insane as you delve into these dungeons. Team-based, turn-based RPG. Really good stuff.
Curtis?
Still in early access, I think.
I actually have to look if this one actually came out. When this one came out. Oh, I can't pick that one. That was last year. Darn.
What was
What was it?
I was gonna say Ziggurat. I really enjoy Ziggurat.
Oh yeah, you played a lot of that.
It's really, really good. If I had to pick from this list, I really like Crypt of the Necrodancer. It's a lot of fun. I still haven't got past like the 3rd level. And
That's hard. It's
I
really-
also liked Kerbal Space Program a lot. I thought it was fun.
I hear Kerbal's a
it's
lot of fun.
It's kind of dumb, but it's amusing at the same time.
All right. Last one, and we're going to go on it, and we'll do some more next week. So, best family game. Since we're all family men and have all a combined total of 0 kids. Splatoon.
Well, it's
can-
not a family game.
We can count wives. Yeah, I don't know if that's a family game.
I don't know if that is either.
Yoshi's Woolly
Thematically,
World.
I suppose. That's not out yet. I'm angry that's not out yet. That's been pushed back.
Like they
Getting that when
reviewed
it
it
comes out.
already, I think. Like I think GameSpot like actually reviewed it and like gave it like an
It comes
okay
out
rating.
in 3 days, I think. So
Okay.
they always get a little early access.
Yeah, they get it early.
Yeah.
Lego Jurassic World,
Didn't play. Not
Lego
really a family
Dimensions, Kirby and the
That
Rainbow
is
Curse.
Toys to Life.
Yeah.
Lego games are all
Yeah.
kid friendly.
Disney Infinity 3.0,
Mhm.
Minecraft, Kingdom Hearts
Like,
2.5.
You
It's
can't. What? Okay. This
Minecraft
is,
for the Xbox One.
The Xbox came out
okay. Whatever.
year, I guess, which is probably why they're counting it.
Yeah.
Skylanders
Whatever.
Trap Team, so pretty much like everything that involves buying a toy, and then Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker.
He's toy. That is a great
All
game.
right.
I hear
so I'm
that's
going
a
to say
lot of
F
fun.
the police,
Okay.
I'm agreeing with Murph. on
and
this.
I'm going to go with the Jackbox Party Pack,
Yes.
Mm.
Good call,
Which is
Murph.
a-
Points for Murph.
an actual party, an actual game that you can play with your family. And hey, you only need smartphones. instead of a billion controllers.
Yeah, I think it's.
Oh, this is one of those that hooks up to a website, and your
Yep.
phones are all controllers for it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brilliant call, Murph. I'm gonna do
In
that.
fact,
one
I could
instead.
probably even. I could stream that on. You can actually stream it over Twitch, and so you guys could play on your laptops and look at my Twitch stream.
Oh, that's funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right.
It's a cool game genre where you're using various devices to connect to a central hub. You know, it's a web page.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
basically,
it's great.
to interact together. It's cool.
Yeah.
People have done a lot of trivia games using that tech.
I love using.
I think that my
trivia
favorite
games
in.
like that.
I like the Drawful game where it's kind of Pictionary.
Yeah.
But in
That's a fun one.
yeah.
Yeah. Curtis, you have a favorite or best family game, or are you going to say F the Police as well and nominate something else?
I'm gonna say F the Police. I love Monster Hunter 4, and I play it with my family, so I'm gonna pick that one.
Yeah.
In this
I'm-
context, his wife is fan.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Grandma
F the
needs some
Police as
drops.
well and choose a game that came out last year in Hearthstone because, I mean, that's what...
Well, if we're gonna do that, I'm
What?
gonna pick Dynasty Warriors 9.
That is a good game.
Hearthstone is not a.
Yeah, you can't couch co-op that one. I guess you could debate the merits of playing a
card.
single
Well, my
four-cost
girlfriend
mana
plays
card
on her
or a
iPad. I play on my
2/2s.
computer, and then I stare at her every time she plays her
There you go.
priest deck and contemplate my relationship. Because why does she have to choose a priest deck? Of all the things,
Because-
there's 8 other decks. Priest.
It's because she
Look.
loves you.
Just get good.
Oh no, I
This is-
got good.
this-
I just hate
Uh-huh.
priest decks because they're so annoying. Oh my god.
Look, just get good, and then they won't be annoying.
Gosh, Murph, there he is. There. All right.
I'm getting real salty tonight.
You are.
That's okay. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, but all right. So, we'll just do some last little bit. I want to talk about your Mike and Murph play, and you recently played a game
Yeah.
last week that I
Oh
Oh,
boy.
flock.
yes, I disagree in that it is an awful game, but now I'm gonna be the bigger man and let you actually debate with you on this because I insulted you behind your back, but I know you won't listen anyway.
I know.
What made Plock so bad?
All right, and this is really so.
By the way, well,
If I had
I'll
played this
plug
as
this real
younger-
quick.
younger-
Mike and Murphy play on Maximum Tomato on YouTube, so check them out. It was episode 16 or
you.
17. So, anyways, continue.
Right. So we were playing Plock. So if I had played this game as a younger man, I think I would like it because it seems like a very solid platformer. However, the one thing that I go over in this video constantly, and there's an enemy and he's kind of this head that pops out of the ground and you
Yes.
kill him, but he can still kill you after he's dead. And that, my friend, is BS.
Because he still has his head on the ground. He doesn't explode. He just goes back into the ground.
He goes into the dying animation. He's dead. He's going to die a second later, but he's dead. I should be able to move past him. That is the rule of Super Nintendo. If you're dead, you can't hit people anymore.
I don't know. The one thing I didn't like is how Mike is immediately telling you on the first stage, "Oh, go left into the water and do the secret stage." It's no, you're not skilled enough yet. Let's get you learning the mechanics first.
So, yeah, but this part of this is we only have so much time.
Yeah.
And we kind of go for that. We don't go for the full professional plays. It's about me getting pissed off or us saying funny stuff. So if you want a full let's play, we're not the channel for you. But if you want me and Mike talking stupid stuff about Bubble Bobble coming up,
Tease.
you'll see.
All right. I guess
Also,
since
if we
I
get
played
100,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say if we get 100 subscribers, I have to beat 10 Star for the Super Nintendo, which is terrible.
Is it?
That sounds awesome. Everybody subscribe. I want to see this.
Well, no, hold on. No, subscribe to me first at That New Show because I'm at 94 and I've been at a steady 94 as well. And so I'd like to reach 100 by the end of the year. So give me 100 and then go to Maximum Tomato and then subscribe to him. So dual plug right there. I think maybe I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much, like, playing it now, if I just started playing it now, but, like, growing up, like, I remember we went to this store, it was called Farmore, with the PH.
Oh, yeah.
And,
yeah.
yeah.
I remember far more.
And, I wanted originally Super Metroid, and they're like, oh, we don't have that, but you might like this game. And it was Plock, and it's like this weird, like, claymation. Like, I still to this day have not played Super Metroid, but I just remember
that's a bad bait and switch.
That's GameStop for you right there, or EB Games at the time.
Man, we're gonna make the game.
It's like, hey, you really want this game? No, you want this other game. No, I really don't want that other game. I want that game.
Do you want to buy this game new, or do you want to save $2 and get this scratched up disc?
Anyways.
Anyway.
All right. Any other things you guys want to mention real quick before I sign off? All right. Thank you guys very much for watching, whether you're listening to us on podcast, watching us on Twitch, or watching us on YouTube. Thank you for making us a part of your day. We'll be recording live on every Tuesday around 6:30, so if you want to come in next time, feel free and say hi, and we'll hopefully respond to you. You can follow me on Twitter at Chase Bunker. You can follow the show on Twitter at @that_game_show. You can follow Murph on Twitter at Dork Night Show. You can follow Curtis on Twitter at JetBlack710. And Clegg, you can follow him on Twitter. Oh, wait, no, you can't. Like the Facebook page, facebook.com/thatnewshowshow. Like our YouTube page, youtube.com/thatnewshowshow. Curtis, did I forget anything?
Nope.
Clegg, did I forget anything?
You're good to go, bud.
Murph, did I forget anything?
Good to go.
All right. Thank you guys very much for watching. For Curtis Coe, Murph Murphy, and Daniel Clegg, I have been Chase Bunker. Good night, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye-bye.